Now, dear students, today we will be discussing relationship between total utility and marginal utility. Now, as discussed in earlier class, total utility is maximum when marginal utility is zero. Total utility rises so long as marginal utility is positive, and total utility falls when marginal utility is negative. This relationship can further be explained with the help of following table and diagram. Now in this schedule we see that if a person consumes 1 cup of tea, let his total utility be then 12 units. Now this is as first cup, so marginal utility is also 12 units. Now if he consumes 2 cups, on the consumption of second cup his total utility is now 22 utils and marginal utility is 10 utils. Now the formula for calculation of marginal utility is TUN minus TUN minus 1. So here TUN is 12, TUN is 22 and TUN minus 1 is 12. So when we subtract 12 from 22 we get 10. So marginal utility is 10. This is the way of calculation of marginal utility. Now on the consumption of third cup of tea, his total utility is 30 and marginal utility, that is now 30 minus 22, that is 8. Now in then after further consumption of tea on the fourth cup his TU is 36, so therefore MU is 36 minus 30, that will be 6. Then TU is 40 on the consumption of fifth cup, so MU is 40 minus 36, that is 4. So on the consumption of 8th cup we see that on the consumption of 6th cup his total utility is 42, and on the consumption of 7th cup his total utility is constant at 42, and then it decreases. On the 8th cup it is 40, so total utility starts decreasing. We see that when total utility is constant at 42, marginal utility becomes 0, and when total utility starts decreasing, when it comes decreases from 42 to 40, marginal utility is negative, that is minus 2. So this is relationship between total utility and marginal utility, which we illustrated with the help of this schedule. Now same is illustrated in this diagram. Now we measure quantity consumed on x-axis and then total utility on y-axis, and in next figure 2.1b we measure marginal utility along x-axis, and then we measure the consumption of tea on x-axis and the marginal utility on y-axis. So TU is total utility curve, and in figure 2.1b MU is marginal utility curve. Now in total utility curve we see that total utility increases after 42, then it is on the seventh consumption of seventh cup it is constant at 42, and then it starts decreasing. So when this starts decreasing, total utility curve is now downward sloping. Earlier it was upward sloping. Now the marginal utility curve is always downward sloping, it is never upward sloping, because marginal utility is always decreasing. It is positive to some extent but decreasing, and after some period of time it becomes 0 and then negative. Same is depicted in this figure. So this was the relationship between TU and MU, which we illustrated with the help